When a student first encounters an awakening experience, it can feel very different from the life they have known. These first openings are often brief. A small window into a vast sky. The Japanese call this satori, awakening, comprehension, understanding. The smaller ones are called kenshin. When we first touch awakening, it may feel spacious, timeless, and transcendent. You may sense stillness, silence, the immeasurable. Alongside that stillness, there may also be fear and exhilaration, and the experience can seem fragile, ephemeral, fleeting. And yet within it, there's an undeniable connection, a clarity, and a release. But awakening does not carry us off on a soft cloud. Our life continues. That moment is not separate from your life. It is the very heart of your life. It lives inside what Dogen called being time, the continuum of existence itself. You may find that your friends, your family, the world around you do not notice what has happened, but that's all right. The world doesn't stop to make room for your awakening. We must keep paying bills, folding laundry, going to work, and our practice happens in the midst of our days. It is here where emptiness meets form that we begin to see how the ordinary is contained within the absolute, and inner conflict may arise, and we ask how can I live in a violent world after touching such peace? How can both realities coexist? And according to our teachings of non-dualism, there are not two worlds. The absolute lives within the relative, and the relative within the absolute, and they co-arise together. When one shines, the other grows dark, but it's not its opposite, but it's its reflection. Like the dark side of the moon, they belong to the same sphere. Heaven does not hover above a broken earth. Heaven and earth exist together, right here, in this very moment. When the ego whispers that we must choose between awakening and daily life, a false split appears. The wind that carries the clouds, that carries our breath, that carries the sound of our heartbeat, and the fragrance of the flowers, that's our daily life. That's the activity of living. We try to hold on to awakening as if it could be preserved like a photograph. But everything rises and falls. Joy, sorrow, insight, even the light of realization itself. We cannot keep awakening any more than we can hold on to the breath. The mind replays these experiences to strengthen the illusion of me. but the inner voice talking to itself. That's not you, and it's not talking to you. Awakening is not a thing we keep. It is the living activity of awareness itself, moment by moment, through everything and everyone. The pebble on the beach, the mole on your chin, the stars above, each equally real, each equally complete. When the mind is turbulent, we return to the breath. When the body trembles, we return to posture. When the breath feels shallow, we return to the earth beneath us. This is why, at the beginning, we don't chase after understanding. We learn how to sit, how to stand, how to feel the breath, moving down through the spine into the ground. We embody steadiness. Before we wash ourselves clean in the Dharma. I often speak of the hara, 2 inches below the navel, 2 inches in toward the spine. This is our spiritual core. This is where practice resides. This is our anchor. When the breath settles there, you become grounded. The absolute is not pursued by thought. It flows like water down into the hara, nourishing you with quiet strength. For many practitioners, subtle traps appear. One is spiritual bypass, floating away from what is real, grasping at light while avoiding shadow. Another is collapsing back into distraction, the comfort of noise and materialism. The middle path avoids both. We breathe with the universe while standing firmly on the earth. We are the lotus rooted in the mud, opening to the stars. This is why daily practice matters, to bring awareness into the body through yoga, through movement, through each breath we take. Though chakras are not originally part of Zen, they offer a simple map of energetic awareness. As we breathe, the current moves down like a river, from crown to heart, to hara, to root. When practice ends, open your eyes softly. Let light and sound enter without resistance. Feel the weight of your body on the cushion. Notice how the breath continues to breathe itself. Awakening does not only live in stillness. It lives in laughter, in grief, in responsibility. We do not step out of the absolute to return to the relative. The relative world is absolute. Breathing in, we take in the myriad things. Breathing out, the world rises once again. The absolute and this body, they exist as one. This is the practice, to breathe between heaven and earth, to stand upright in the middle of your own life, to know that awakening is not elsewhere. It never was. It is here, in this body, in this breath, in this world as it is. This is where practice begins, and this is where practice never ends. Yes, Michael. Mike?
This is kind of maybe off subject a little bit, but are you saying in the sense of having an awakening or an awareness, a momentary spark where you sit there and go, okay, this is what's going on. Do we want to forget that that has happened because we don't want to get caught up and hung up on it, but use it as a signpost to continue, showing where we want to go? Or is it just the fact that since reality, and awareness, okay,
Stop,
absolute
Mike.
and relative are the same process, do we just want to kind of say, hey, look, that's nice you had that, but move on because that's not the whole story?
Too many words.
I know. Sorry.
We're climbing down a ladder made of clouds into ourselves. We are the same activity as the absolute. We're within the absolute, and it's within us. There's no separation. Your skin doesn't separate you from this. And only words convolute it. They make that ephemeral ladder take form. Just throw away the ladder. Don't hold on to anything. Thank you. Chris.
I just wanted to ask, what's the significance of Kensho experiences or Satori experiences? What role do they play in a student's practice?
You know, I was doing some writing early last night, or late last night, as it was. They're little sparks along the way that keep us practicing. They sort of like little pointers. And when you're with a teacher, they expand and give you different direction. That's Kensho. Satori might last longer, does last longer. What does it serve? What purpose does it serve? I think it just shows you that there really is no path. There's no separation. There's just this awareness and this activity. And if you feel that within these experiences, don't hold on to it. There's nothing to hold on to. It's like trying to catch raindrops. You know, you're part of the ocean. Don't think you're one wave. And I think when we start focusing on these experiences, we limit ourselves to that story. And we give it form, and it's formless. And I sort of realized that last night. There's nothing there. It was useful in a moment. These things happen in a moment. They happen in a dream. Let them go. Is that okay, Chris? Thank you. Danny?
What happens when we desire enlightenment?
You never, you know, you can't. It just becomes attainment, and it becomes a manifestation of ego. As soon as we desire anything, we cling to it. We turn it into form, and then it turns into other form. And then we want more of it, and we want to attain it. And we think we could get it. We think we'll be better for it. We give it names. We give it words. Don't let the spark turn into a flame. Don't attain. And that's the trap. And at the beginning of our practice, it's a little like, you know, we hang out these shiny trinkets and we call them Kensho and Satori, and we talk about them and like, ooh, ooh, ooh. And it keeps people in their seats. And there's nothing there. and when you realize there's nothing there, there's nothing to attain. You're it. Jane.
I thought your phrase earlier was really good, the one about it's taking place in a dream. And if we understand that, then we just take it slowly and carefully. And also, when someone attains enlightenment of any kind, it's a great boon to the whole house, because when one person is enlightened, every person near that person is enlightened too. And nobody is not enlightened. So if you grasp enlightenment, you're grasping everyone, which makes it really hard.
That's true. And we've had great teachers at the Zen Center, and there's a koan, the oak tree in the garden. And Peter was the oak tree, and we're the garden. Yes, Tiffany.
I know that for me, what I tend to struggle with is narrativizing my behaviors, my activities, what I observe, what I don't observe. And I think I hear you when you say that's imposing this form on a type of formlessness, if I understand correctly, right? I think that sometimes I feel frustrated because it also feels like a profoundly human desire or activity or something that we're very designed to do, to narrativize things. And it's the one part of practice that does feel, I don't want to say alien, but does feel apart from human nature, if that makes sense. And I sometimes struggle to square that circle.
I fully understand it. So the ego feels a linearity to this process.
Sure.
It's all happening right now. There's nothing linear. So when you feel like you're striving to something in the future, you're projecting into something that's not here.
Right.
It's not linear. It's here. Okay? And when you know that, you've transgressed. You separated yourself from this moment. So just know that, and you feel it. You know where you feel it? Right there in the hara, when
Right.
you feel that tightness. And you know how to get rid of it? Just breathe consciously. Thank you. Hello, Rachel. Hi.
Thank you, Spencer. You referred to the horror, the physicality and yoga as a medium and other things to be brought back to the breath. Is it not interesting how severe pain or illness can be an opportunity to have that keen awareness, so that, and I mean, sometimes rarely, but that it is possible then to, of course, prefer good health, but to no longer think of ill health as wrong and good health as right, though you, of course, much prefer good health. But it's the physicality, unavoidable, and it can be that kind of awareness or physicality that will be an opportunity for awareness.
Of course, pain, suffering, grieving, it brings us low, places us below the world. That's the place of practice. That's the place we connect. It's good. Society, we shy away from it. Pain, suffering, grieving. We don't grieve public anymore. We express their ability. That's our practice. Expressing that. And you're right. And it enriches us. Thank you. Something I did want to say. So I was in dialogue with Victoria Austin, and I was saying to her, I'm taking on this role in the Zen Center, but I'm not comfortable. Chris and I are both novice priests. Neither of us has had Shuso. That's the truth, despite anything. So, I'm not a teacher. I am your good spiritual friend. And that's what I discussed with Vicky. I feel good with that. So, just see me as that.
What you said is very nice, Spencer. I think, however, you are a teacher, you're a fledgling teacher, and you're doing really well. At least that's the way it seems to me. And Vicky is a teacher of good sense. When you listen to her talk, you can't help being riveted by much of what she says. And she had many experiences that she went through that were quite horrible. One was when she was waiting for a bus and a brick wall right back of her fell down, and a large part of it hit her head. So she had to do things like learning to speak all over again, and yet she did all that, and now she looks very normal in every way. And then after that, when she was recovering, a car turned the corner very quickly. It didn't see her, and hit her and knocked her under the car and dragged her for another block. And she survived that too very well. So when you see Vicky, this is a trooper who has learned what samsara is in all its corners. And so I hope when she comes, you will all take care of her and help her, because she truly is a wonderful woman.
Yes. She is a real bodhisattva.
Yes,
She is.
yeah, I did some work with her up in Grace's group. And so we shared a room and talked a lot. And I came to respect everything about her so much, because she's like a person who has an entire treasure house in her and never speaks about it, and never says anything, but occasionally gives some of it away. And so I think she's really marvelous.
She's very powerful in her insight,
Yes.
and her sword is very sharp, very sharp. And yeah, that's you know when you're with her, you're just like butter.
Yeah, when you're with her, you don't have to do anything, nothing at all, not even talking, you just watch and see how big he is and everything.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
Yeah, her countenance is presence. I mean, I feel like she sees right through me.
Everybody probably.
Yeah. Wonderful. Hello, Joel.
Hi, thank you. It's really beautiful talk. For me, one thing actually is, Changpa talks about this, that, there's a way in which he talks about meditation and Kensho as boring, and that it's like there's nothing. So of course it's boring, or it's all one. And so of course it's boring. And I think in my practice that's been a problem, because I like interesting things. So I just guess something to add to really to kind of learn to appreciate boring. Learning to appreciate it is what it is. That's very boring. It is. And anyway, I just thought that came up with me in terms of difficulties in my practice.
I understand.
Yeah.
No, I wrote for 27 years, I saw my practice as mundane. And then I was really okay with that. And I saw the beauty in that. And that's okay. It's all okay.
It's all okay, but it's like the non-mundane of something like Kensho or something is precisely kind of its ordinariness, kind of, this is what it is. Oh, okay, my hara. That's it, kind of thing. So ordinary is really extraordinary when you let it be just ordinary. Or something.
When you stop trying, stop giving it names,
Yeah.
stop creating it in different forms, it really becomes much richer. But as long as you are looking at it from the outside, it's always something to attain.
Yeah.
Rachel, do you have a question? Oh, we can't hear you. You're muted.
Thank you. I just appreciated what both Joel and you emphasized about ordinary or mundane. Because it's been quite a while, and my practice isn't any great shakes. And but a long while, and now well, I don't think about it, but I'm just so grateful. Do you know what I mean? That it's my life. It is, and it no longer is anything. It's my life. But I wanted to say, when one has perhaps a moment of unthinking clarity, for me, there are moments I don't even actually notice it. But it's almost as though, you know, when the temperature changes sometimes, well, you wouldn't down there in California, but when the temperature changes in seasons, when you know spring is there, or summer, it's like there's some so slight temperature shift, but you feel it, even though it maybe still looks awful. To me, it's almost like that. And then I notice I happen to have done something that maybe was remotely kind. You know, it's like it was almost accidental. It came without machination. But anyway, I just appreciate the ordinary, mundane avowal.
Yeah, no, beneath everything, at our deepest, it's just so ordinary, so mundane. And that's what we can't accept. And it's here. With the rain, you know, in our zazen. And it's truly mundane. And that's the beauty of this practice, because it's right here, right there. So, right here. Thank you, Rachel. Hello, Virginia. It's good to see you this morning. And all others in attendance.
How many are in the Zoom?
There are 9, Jane, or 8, without myself. So, all right. Let's prepare for service. Oh, Virginia, hello. Thank you for waving. All right.